said I got to say something, baby, hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic. Cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. When I need to say something, better hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic.
I knew a lad who got a horrible story, and, just to bring everyone down at the start with. He was in my gym. It was mental time. You remember I told you during the pandemic, there was, I had the gym keys.
Yes,
I got
you
the
did.
penthouse.
One of the few.
You know the penthouse?
Oh, the town?
Yeah. Going up the stairs.
Yeah.
Well, during COVID, obviously it was all that carry-on, wasn't it? You're not allowed to go nowhere and all this carry-on, right? And we all had keys. I mean, to start with, you remember the old building society, Newcastle?
Yeah.
I had the key. That's how you got in, right? Because basically, that old building is connected to all these little buildings. So he was given all of his. I don't know how he's got all these keys, but he has all these keys to all these buildings. I had Newcastle Building Society's thing, so he was saying you can't come in daylight. So he had us all 3 o'clock in the morning, hoodies up, mooching through alleyways in the town. Literally, I shit you not. I was coming down an alleyway. There's an alleyway from the back of Argos down to where. Skinnergate.
Yeah. I know
you
what
remember?
You mean, yeah.
And I can remember going down there and peeping. And I had to look for the town cameras, which way they were pointing, right? I don't know if we would have got done.
Just to go to the gym?
Just go to the gym. Because they were all Raj, man. There was only about 10 people, but I know this story was going to go horrible. Anyway, I'd go in this Newcastle Building Society and, snooping around from the cameras. And I'd never met this lad before. And I remember going in, this is no lie, 3 o'clock in the morning, right in the midst of it all. We're talking like March 2020. You know what I mean? You couldn't have the lights on. You'd had the windows boarded up. Anyway, and I walked in, I met this lad I'd never seen him before. He was built like Arnie. I can remember him in the gym. And he was like quiet lad, you know what I mean? Anyway, as you do, it was just me and him in there. And, he starts talking to me and that. And he seems like a nice lad. He's told me his story that he's been in, what's he do? Like intelligence. So his job was he was employed by the army, but what he did is he would go to army camps, and his job was to check the perimeter security. He had to there's a posh word for it? Oh, what do you do? I'm thick, but there's a word for it. But he used to basically have a look at everything to make sure that everything's sound. As the Germans can't get in, basically. Anyway, story goes, I'd seen him a few times, you know what I mean? Got talking.
Was he a young lad, like?
Yeah, he was my age.
Yeah.
He was a bit younger than me, to be honest, but I always remember he was absolutely, you're thinking, how the fuck you get in that shape? He looked like he'd been stung by wasps, do you know what I mean? He was just literally just swole everywhere.
I'm like that,
yeah.
But
anyhow, the horrible story is, fucking one day, the pandemic thing lifted, blah, blah, blah. Only a month or two later, it was in the spring, we were allowed to start going and that. And I was going in one day, and Rich said, Danny, and he come out, he said, have you heard what's happened to Steve? I said, who's Steve? I didn't know his name. I just knew him as the guy I spoke to. Anyway, and he described him, and I was like, what, this guy? And he said, yeah. He said, he's killed himself,
oh my God.
Swear down, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, man. He did the whole, from what I heard, is he took himself off in the car somewhere, and I don't know whether he did something in the car or he did the old...
Oh, the exhaust.
The old thing, I don't know. Yeah. Smoke the exhaust. But, sorry to put everyone on a downer, but...
awful.
No way,
that's... just what the reason I mentioned that is, I couldn't tell there was nothing wrong with him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I seen him every day. I couldn't tell there was anything wrong with him.
You can't judge. You don't know, do you? You don't know at all.
Which is why I think I'll retract the statement I made, because you don't know. You really don't know. It's what's behind the smile and all that, isn't it?
But like you say, I think there's a lot of people who maybe...
Well,
Everybody's...
But your dad, my dad...
We got the same dad?
Well, don't know.
Maybe.
I've got your dad's number. I'll see if you knew my mother.
I know, yeah. Well, it's possible, I think.
I mean, we look similar.
We do, yeah. So our dad...
No, but they don't have mental health problems.
There's the thing.
You know what I mean? Their era.
No. Never heard of.
My dad just, no, well, whatever. And I know your dad. Your dad's the same, isn't he?
Yeah, but then, the counter argument to it, I'm just playing devil's advocate, is they might. but they're just not saying
Yeah,
now.
they don't say now, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're right. If I go back to being a kid, I remember my granddad. Like, if you said my granddad, I'm feeling a bit down today. Like, no, like give you a clip round the lug hole.
Yeah, what's
He
the
said,
matter with
you've not done enough gardening. That would be the answer. Do you know what I mean?
I was a prisoner of war, son, in World
Yeah.
War II. You don't know what stress is, boy. Your balls popped, that's all. I'll get you another.
It's literally it.
Yeah.
It's literally it. Yeah. I don't know.
Different era, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different era. I mean, we could go down this rabbit hole. We probably best not, but and nothing against. I'm sure everybody's lovely. These are the future of our country, and everyone else's country. Well, some of these young kids, these him, hers, she's, it's, they's.
I'm
Imagine.
applying, me and another woman, to be in this Northwest Lancashire Comedy Festival, and they want to know our pronouns. That's the first thing they ask.
Right.
I know what mine is. So I was on to her. I said, Ellen, need your pronoun. She went, you know what my pronoun is? I said, I don't know. I can't presume.
I'm not even going to lie. I don't really understand the pronouns thing.
She said, what did she put? Mrs.
What's the options for a boy? What can we be?
Him, Mr.
But what's the difference though? Like, isn't Mr. a him?
It's he, him, his. That's
Yeah.
that's male's pronoun if you want to be a male.
But there's some that are just called them. And
So this him, he. Say that again, Southpaw.
Him, he, him, his.
So does that, let me stop. No, I was trying to interrupt. So if I'm a he, him, his, does that mean I have all three of them applied to me, or do I have to just pick one?
you can pick one, I think. But us is just normal.
Yeah.
I'm worrying about what?
Yeah, I know.
But but yeah, it would be all of them.
Right.
Yeah, so it says here it's he, him, his for somebody who might want to identify as a male. It's she, her, hers for somebody who might want to identify as a female. It's they, them, their for somebody who might not want to identify as a male or a female. These are pronouns of a gender neutral person. I think I can say person.
So basically, the world's had it. Is the top and bottom of it.
Yeah. What's your pronoun?
What's your pronoun?
Does it matter?
I know someone that's a furry.
A furry?
Do you know what a furry is?
I've seen some of them in a Wheat Chief before. I can't lie.
Yeah. Well, apparently, again, I've not seen him in character, let's say. But thank God. But a furry, from what I can gather, is someone who likes dressing up as a furry. Let's have a look at a furry, Southpaw.
Okay.
I think a furry is someone who likes dressing up like a furry animal. I don't know if there's
Oh my
any
God, it's a
sexual
real
stuff
thing.
involved.
Sorry, I thought you had my life there, Dan.
No.
Yeah, so furries are people who have the interest in anamorphic animals or animals with human
What's
qualities.
the world coming to?
I swear to God. Imagine one of them coming in the week, Chief.
Furry sex? What is it?
Many furries
Probably-
create their own animal character known as a persona.
Is furry a gender? No. Furry sex was someone who hadn't shaved their legs.
Well, there you go. There you go.
That's ridiculous.
There you go, Andy.
This is 2024. This is what the kids are doing. They're not people anymore. You can identify as a furry, and you have to be identified as a furry. It's the law.
A furry. Wow.
I've never seen out like
Imagine
that
if
in life.
imagine Russia come and invade us. Imagine the chance that we have them stood on the front line.
Imagine an alien just come down now and said, we're all one gender.
Right.
We mate through
Yes.
drinking water.
Yes.
What do yous do? Well, hang on. Now then, we're getting to the furries now.
You're not going to believe this. Imagine them going back to their other planet.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't invade there.
No.
They're even worse than us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... yeah, but they're furries. Yeah, imagine.
Why do people become... Is it okay to call someone a furry?
Yeah. Imagine one of them coming in the week, Chief.
Wouldn't last 5 minutes.
No. But by law, you have to accept them.
Yeah, you have to now.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can get done, I think.
You can't be seen to be
Do you think it's just
anything, can you?
Do you think it's just a craze, or do you think in the end, right? Because I just keep thinking, you get all this him, her, this, that, da, 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 da. I keep thinking in the end, like we'll have a time of this, but I have a feeling like I hope, I guess, maybe hope, in the end we'll just go, here, just stop that.
Yeah.
Just pack that
It's
in.
generational, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was watching a bit of TikTok
Right.
this afternoon,
Love a bit of TikTok.
and Alf Garnett come on,
I remember
You know
Alf
him?
Garnett, yeah.
and I watched it, and I thought, my God, how on earth was that on telly?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and then I thought, okay, and like what you're saying, it's a generational thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then when the furries, like the mods and rockers and that,
Yeah.
so then there's no more mods and rockers.
No.
So I remember when I was a furry son, I used to dress up as this squirrel.
Can you imagine? When my mum was younger, she knocked about with skinheads. Can you imagine the skinheads got hold of these lot?
And oh yeah,
Can you imagine?
the
Yeah,
Hells
massive-
Angels and that.
Mate, they drag them down the street from the back of the motorbike. There'd be none of this.
They wouldn't.
There would be none of this.
No.
Did you ever consider the mod or rocker lifestyle, Dan? Was that your
How
era?
old do you think I am, fam?
Well,
I was born in the
I don't
80s. I
know.
grew up in the 90s. Liam Gallagher and that. What are you saying?
A little bit past that then.
Yeah. When was the
just
Mods and
such-
Rockers? 60s, wasn't it?
60s, yeah.
And Teddy Boys and all that.
Oh, was it that far back?
And the skinheads went into the 70s and the 80s, didn't
Yeah,
they? And
yeah.
there was the New Romantics.
New Romantics.
They were the ones, weren't there?
Duran and
Yeah,
Spandau
yeah.
Valley.
Hey, if I could have my time again. No, sorry. If I could go back and be in a different era, I think I don't mind a bit of that David Bowie look like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was the man, wasn't he?
They loved him. Women
Yeah.
loved him. Men loved him.
He was a god.
Yeah.
This is how you want. This is it, Southpaw.
Yeah, this
some
is fairly
cowboy.
cool.
No, some pirate boots.
How she's got in there?
Who?
Taylor Swift.
She's not one. That's not Taylor
She
Swift.
gets in
man.
where
Oh,
water
it is.
wouldn't her?
Apparently, that's a New Romantics outfit there.
Is it? Don't know.
If you could have lived right in any era through history, right? So you can pick medieval time, you can pick now. If you could have lived any era, right? When would it have been? I'm going to go first.
Go on then.
Right?
Yeah.
So 1950s America, Grease Lightning.
All right, okay.
That's why I fancy some of that. Imagine the 1950s cars when they're not old and knackered. You got the leather jacket on. And that point in time, America had done really well, hadn't they? The rest of the world was battered from that
Yeah,
war.
from the war.
But America somehow, something to do with the economics and that, they were like supplying the world everything. 'Cause they didn't get bombed, did they?
Yeah, no.
So
yeah.
they were living their dream for a while. That's why, imagine that. Everyone poked right up.
I love the 90s, like.
90s.
Yeah, I'd love to really. I'd like it to be a rolling 10-year that all the time. the
Yeah,
90s.
yeah. Just start again.
Yeah.
again.
You
What's
knew
your-
where you were.
Yeah. It was like there was enough in the night. I didn't live, I was only like 5 to 15, so my memory's a bit hazy compared to yours. You'll have been what?
I was 20.
20.
I was teens, then early 20s.
It seems like the 90s, there was enough modernness for it to be sound and quite good, but it hadn't busted itself with the internet yet.
No.
So it was just at the end of the good bit. People were still going to pubs and that, ringing landlines, weren't there, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
My dad tells me the stories all the time about, he says, you have no idea. He said, everybody, and we weren't alcoholics, just people went out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that's how you met people.
Yeah.
There was none of this sitting there typing things, dressing your furry outfit.
Oh, when you were a kid, you used to ring the landline.
Yeah.
Is Graham there? Yeah, I'll just get him. Right, I'll meet you outside Dooley Wade Smith's in the Carmel at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on, mate. You're there at 1 o'clock. If he doesn't turn up, that's it.
It's
You,
job.
can't, you just go home.
No,
Can't be texting him.
nah. There's none of that.
Just on your way home.
I remember riding, I told you the other week, I remember
Yeah,
riding
we-
across town
We were talking about
to
this.
see my mate. He lived on the Broadway, and I lived up Branksome. So this again, there was landlines. You know what I mean? You'd ring him, are you in? Yeah, I'm in. You pedal all the way there, pedal all the way there, pedal. You knock on the door. Hi, is so-and-so in? Nah, he's gone out. Job's
Yeah.
fucked.
You're knackered then.
That's it, John. Oh, you could go home.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. You could maybe have a ride around, but if that's it, it's over. There's no.
And even the charts,
Yeah.
you knew what was in the charts. Now,
Yeah.
no, like, why did Top of the Pops end? Because Pops is popular.
Yeah.
So everyone will watch it. Well, it must be just too expensive for them, I suppose. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about the music industry, but I can only assume that the emergence of these streaming platforms
yeah, knackered it.
have
didn't it?
knackered it. Still, people are still pursuing it. So there must be still some, I suppose, live shows, right? That's how you make your money now.
Yeah, live shows.
Do you make much money off streaming or not? Like
yeah, I've heard you
but
make
not CD selling. Sort of
not
stuff.
not CD selling money, but
No.
it's still decent money streaming. Like if people tune in, you get a certain cut per tune, and it's all on how long they stay on the streaming platform.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of money still to be made if you've got a big enough audience.
Yeah, they wouldn't do it. Would they?
So we rolling, Southpaw.
We're rolling.
We're rolling.
Oh, we're on now, are we?
We're on now. You said we
we're
do
on.
it. Yeah, catch you by surprise.
I once got a bit by surprise there.
That's how we do it. Shock horror. So it's people like us.
I have a strepsil.
You have a strepsil.
Get your strepsil
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Got a bit of a cold.
Yeah, people like us, Southpaw, Dan, but we got a special guest today. And I'm going to ask you about this straight away.
Right on.
Andy Hercules Einstein Ormerod. I'll repeat that. Andy Hercules Einstein Ormerod,
Yeah.
a.k.a. Norm.
Yeah.
So I'll start with the long bit,
Right on.
right? Do you make that up?
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's memorable.
So I didn't have. It was my 23rd birthday,
Right.
and I didn't have any middle names. And I went round my mate's house,
Right.
and he had the internet at home, and it was a big thing.
Right.
So we went on D-Pol.
I'll dial up.
Yeah. And it was 38 quid, I think,
Right.
to change it to anything you liked. So I could have been Andrew, San Francisco is my kind of town, Ormerod.
Right.
And it would have been 38 quid. So I thought, right, what could I be then? And I thought, I know, Hercules for the brawn, Einstein for the brains. Says it all, doesn't it?
Ah,
Right.
job's done. I see this now. I see the thinking.
However, me and him weren't sure where the E and the I went in Einstein. Right.
Right?
So I had to ring my dad up.
No.
I says, how do you spell Einstein, Dad? So he told me. So I bought the name, right? And then about, I don't know, week after, something like that, big thing, like a file, comes through the letterbox with Andrew Hercules Einstein Ormerod.
No.
And me, when I lived with my dad, and my dad had seen it, he was waiting. He went, spare. We chose that name for you. What's this? What's a D-Pol stamped on it and all that?
Andy, I thought you just made it up for Facebook.
No.
You've really done this.
I bought it, yeah.
You really are called that.
Yeah.
Legally.
Well, because my dad went by me,
Yeah.
I said I won't change. I won't properly change. Like I won't physically go through with it. But I have bought the name. But my dad's in my 70s now, so it won't be long till I can do it.
So you can't
then
catch
he won't
you.
know, yeah.
No.
But yeah, so I've not actually changed it. Like, but I have the somewhere in the house.
The deeds or
Is,
whatever.
yeah, the deeds to the name.
So you could finish that process and have it on your bank cards and that.
Yeah, bank card, passport.
Imagine.
It says on it, I
Great
wet
stuff.
myself, mind. Because it says on it, you will cease to be Andrew Ormerod.
Oops.
You will become Andrew Hercules Einstein Ormerod. And when I was reading it, I was thinking,
It's a bit real, that.
I don't really want to cease to be me. And then I'm going to be some joke name, you know what I mean? And I thought my dad might be right here.
Yeah.
So I have the name somewhere.
You play with it. So where's Norm come from?
Norm is...
Because that's not in there anywhere, is it?
So my dad used to be landlords of pubs and
Right.
stuff when I was a kid. And believe it or not, when I had hair, it was curly,
Never.
really curly. And you know Norm off Cheers?
Cheers. Wow, there's a blast from the past. Which one was Norm again?
The curly-haired fat bloke at
In
the
the
end of
suit?
bar. Yeah.
Yes.
I was in.
Yes, I remember him.
So because I lived in a pub, I was always in the pub. and Ormerod, arm, round Norm.
Ah.
But they say it's because an arm off cheese, and I look like Norm off cheese.
Never. Come on, think you're doing a little bit. I can see a little bit of that, actually, yeah.
He's a handsome beast,
Yeah,
isn't
he is a handsome beast, like. Them fellas in Cheers, like, Norm, like, he was always in that pub.
Oh, yeah.
He had a suit on, like, he had a job, but he was always in that pub, wasn't he?
Loved the pub, didn't he, Norm?
Loved the pub, like. Hey, that was great, wasn't it? Cheers.
There he is.
Norm.
Yeah, I can see it like.
There's Norm off cheese.
There you are.
Now, when I put my glasses on, for you, I look like Paddy off Emmerdale. Right? Hold on. Look at that there.
You do, mate,
Paddy,
you
innit?
do. You do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Like a lot.
There's Paddy there. Look.
You do, mate.
So from Norm to Paddy,
Never.
in
Yeah.
about...
I think I'd take Norm like.
Yeah, I'll take
I
Norm,
would as
like.
well, yeah. I'll take these glasses off now.
Did he have curly hair?
No, I don't know.
You do look a bit like him, Norm. A little bit.
Well, you know. Oh, look at that one there. Blimey. Look.
Time's not been kind, has it? You know what he looks like? Now, on that picture there, it looks like if Alan Carr went on a bad diet, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Someone put a bicycle pump up your arm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Steph, if you don't mind, let me do a little bit of This Is Your Life, right?
Yeah, go on then.
Because obviously you're a comedian.
Well, yeah.
Esque.
Yeah,
Ish.
Yeah.
Ish. Call
Yeah.
a comedian-ish.
Yeah.
But you're doing it.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
And I got loads to ask you about that. I love comedy. Bang into it. Big fan. But let's do a little bit of This Is Your Life.
Cool.
So where are you from?
Darling.
Darling.
Yeah.
You say pubs. You're born into pubs.
They had... My mum and dad had the first pub when I was about 6.
Right.
And then the last one, when my dad got the sack,
You got the sack.
I was about 23.
How did you get the sack if you've your pub?
No, well, he worked for breweries then.
Oh, right.
So they said he was having stoppy backs.
Which I'm sure he wasn't.
No, he won't have. He
No.
won't have been doing. I think someone grassed on him.
Yeah. One of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jealous or something. I don't know.
Yeah. One of them. Which pubs did you have?
First one was the Coxer Workmen's Club in Coxer.
Oh, up there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But I always remember when we drove up, they'd been there before, I'd been there, I was only a kid. And the X had fell off the sign.
Right.
So I thought I was moving to a place called Coho,
Coho.
because it was the Coho District Working Men's Club.
Yeah.
So I'll say it's all right in Coho, ring me grand, like. It's all right, Coho, like.
A small place in it,
Yeah.
Coho.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're like pit yackers and all that.
Yeah. I pass it sometimes.
Then we moved to Newton Aycliffe. And they had the Iron Horse.
Never, yeah. I know the Iron Horse well. Yeah.
And then, because they were both from Darlington, my parents, moved back to Darlington and they had the Copper Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, Copper Beach. Yeah.
It's big time now, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
big
massive.
time. What years did you have Copper Beach?
1992, about 97.
So you actually lived there?
Lived in the Copper, yeah.
Yeah.
And my mum buggered off, you know. They said about that a bit, but... And then my dad got offered the pennyweight in the town,
Oh, yeah.
and he took the pennyweight, and that's when he got the sack.
Right. For not having stoppy
For
backs.
not having stoppy backs, no.
No, sure. What school did you go to?
Eastbourne.
Eastbourne?
Well. So I went to Cornforth Lane Primary School
Cornforth Lane?
in Coxer, or
Oh,
Coho.
Coho. Up at Coho, yeah.
Then Sugar Hill Primary School in Aycliffe.
I know that school.
And then the Avenue, which is knocked down. Mm-hmm. Then we moved to Darlow, then I went to Eastbourne. That was it.
What was Eastbourne like? Like Eastbourne?
Yeah.
Pretty
what
much.
What you expect it would be.
Yeah. Was there a big traveller community back then as well?
Yeah.
Still then?
Yeah.
See, I don't have no... I remember obviously the 90s and stuff, and I remember there being, you know, a big presence, let's say, then. But I always wonder, was it the same before then?
We had there's a little claim to fame, our year. So it was in the Echo and everything. our year, when we were fifth year, did the GCSEs, our year was the worst for results in the full country.
In the full country.
Full country. And I
That's
remember,
good
I mean,
going.
I did okay.
Yeah.
And
It's a big one, that, isn't it? Whole country.
I remember my dad read it in the Echo and he said, look at that. He says, you've beaten like inner city schools in London who have nothing, son.
Yeah.
He said, that takes some doing that.
Yeah, it does, like.
I was like, thanks very much.
Yeah. It was a collective effort.
to fame.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't do it on my own, Dad. It was a collective effort. Yeah.
Claim to fame.
Did you enjoy school? Because I always think at school there's like certain groups. You've got your sporty people. You've got the so-called cool kids. You've got your outsiders. Could even call them freaks to some extent. What was school like for you?
We were, I don't want to say the in-betweeners, but we were kind of.
As in, like, the TV show?
No, like, in the sense of the word, we weren't like the bad lads.
Right.
We weren't the geeks.
Right.
We were somewhere in the middle. We got up to mischief and stuff, don't get us wrong. But we were like, sort of, we were just a group that was in the middle of it all.
Like
you know what I mean?
drifters.
Yeah, yeah.
In my memory of school going back, it's funny you should say that. I do remember the odd couple of lads and that, and as you say, there was all the lanes. There was the cool kids, the sporty kids, the bad lads, but there was some kids that weren't really anything, and they just sort of drifted. But my memory of those kids is they kind of had a decent ride at school.
Yeah, we did.
Do you know what I mean?
There was a group of us. We're still friends with them now.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was a group of us, and we were some more mischievous than others.
Yeah, of course.
But we didn't there's no bullying going on or nothing like that. We were just there for a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what we did every day, you know.
Yeah. Eastbourne School's a funny one. Like, do you know, funnily enough, someone I'm going to ask you about as well, you know Vic Reeves.
Yeah, yeah.
You know of him anyway, at least. Yeah. I listened to his book recently, you know, the audio book.
Yeah.
Great audio book, by the way. He narrates it. He just got away talking and telling his stories, and he talks about Eastbourne and that, and he talks about, you know, how it was at Eastbourne School. And it's funny, the way he describes it is the way my dad describes it as well. Do you know what I mean?
Your dad knew him, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, knew of him, I think. I think they were a few years apart. But yeah, he knew of him. He lived in Hewitson Road.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
That was it, yeah. A couple from the end, wasn't it? Yeah. Do you know, it's funnily enough, I mean, I'm going to get to the comedy in that. Do you know, when I was listening to some of your videos on your Facebook, that's who you remind me of a bit. It's a bit Vic Reeves-esque.
He's an influence.
Is he?
They both are, yeah.
It must be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a similar type of humour, like some of the facial expressions, some of the stuff you say. I wasn't sure whether I was getting lulled into it just because it's like a Darlow accent. I wasn't sure whether I'm thinking, hang on, is it just because these are the only two comedians with a Darlow accent? But then as I was watching, I was thinking, he is like a bit like him, he is a bit like him, which is that's a good thing to have.
It's a compliment, that.
Yeah, he's
really.
a genius.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Funnily enough, I'm going to play one of these videos, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go on.
So I want to ask you about the wagon wheel thing.
The world record attempt.
I don't think it was a world record attempt because, to my understanding, you only had 2. So it wasn't a good record to beat, like. But
Here we are.
what was going on here?
I've had 2 wagon wheels for me dinner. 2 wagon wheels, that's it. At the moment I'm on a bit of a sugar high. In an hour or 2 I'll feel shit. I've had 2 wagon wheels for me dinner. 2 wagon wheels, that's all. If there was a 3rd one in the packet, I'd eat that one. And all. Wagon wheels.
2 wagon wheels for your dinner, eh?
I work from home
I can tell, yeah. For a while.
for nearly 4 years. That's what happened.
I was going to ask you about that. There's a few more things that tickled me and all. You had a few things on your head, didn't you? What was that about? Have a look at that southpaw. You had a little.
I put the bin lid on my head and
You
stuff.
put a few things on your head. Was this
My God. Yeah.
a boring day? So what was going on here? Just You know, like, busy day.
I'm getting paid for that.
What is it like? It's like a benefit.
I can't tell you. I don't know.
No.
I think I must have just put something on my head.
Yeah.
It was like, and I thought, I wonder how much I can actually put on my head.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the table, I thought, that's my Everest. I'm definitely getting that table on my head. I was holding it like
Were you?
behind the curtain.
Oh, I thought you had it on your head.
But, oh no, it's not that flat.
No.
Yeah, I was quite pleased with that.
Hey, listen.
With that effort.
I mean, you've killed the dream a bit, 'cause I thought you had the table on your head.
Oh, no.
But I tell you what was impressive, the Carex bottle. You must have glued that to your head.
No,
That little Carex bottle.
just sits there. Just sat there.
Just sat there.
Yeah. Happy
Perfect.
as Larry.
How many attempts did it take? Were you stiff like that?
Right, that's done. Another thing. That's done.
So this
That
working
was
from
it.
home thing,
Yeah.
who are you working for?
Van Ayer firm.
Van Ayer firm.
Northgate Van Ayer.
I've got a friend works at there. Same as you, so 2 days a week.
Oh no, I'm at home all the time.
Oh, yeah. How does that work then? Because some of them, they're there 3 days a week and at home 2 days a week.
We work in the damage bit.
Right.
So, like, there's a load of engineers who work in it.
Right.
And they wanted to, and they come from, like, Blythe, and
Right.
one comes from Coho,
From Coho.
and one's, like, from Chesley Street. So there was a vote. Who doesn't want to, like, department vote? And it was voted that we would just stay at home.
Right.
And I was all for it at the beginning
Oh, yeah.
because I have a routine. You know, I get up in the morning, I got Chris Moyles till 10.
Ideal.
Then I have this morning, and I seen the demise of Philip Schofield, which was always fun. And then, I don't know what to, I find it hard talking about it. Steph's pack lunch
What
from
about it?
12:30 till 2:10, but it's been axed, right? And they've replaced it with 5 episodes of Phone a Bed. I was thinking about writing my MP. I'm not happy.
I don't think the MP can do now, can he?
Oh,
You're a fan of Steph's packed lunch then?
yeah.
Yeah. I can
She's
tell.
my screensaver on my phone, everything. I love the woman.
No, she's not.
She is. Oh. I'm there. You just tap that. There she is there.
She is like.
Definitely.
She is like.
And there she is. There she is there. Now then, this is a bit naughty, this. Right? So I went to London for the darts. I've got various pictures of Steph. But then I thought, like, someone might be looking over my shoulder in a pub and they might think, oh, there's like just going past. And if it was just like a publicity photo of Steph, they might think, oh, has he got Steph McGovern there? But I took it off her Instagram and it looks like I've just taken it opposite her in a lift. That I'm actually
Does
with her.
like. I mean,
You know, it's not creepy. It's just, I'm a fan.
well, not to some. You know.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, you know, I'm sure she'd be flattered. Do you know?
Shout out
Does she
Steph.
know? Have you ever messaged her? DM'd her? Slid in her DMs?
Yes,
Have you? Yeah. No, you haven't.
I have. When the show, with the last show,
Right.
I DM'd, oh,
God.
right. I DM'd her on Instagram. Hang on, where is she? This is from the artist, right? I've never shared this with anybody. I can't get any signal in here.
So is this an exclusive?
Anyway, it was just saying that I was proud of her and the last 3 years have been class and, you know, how great company she was and all that, and I'm forever a fan and all this and all that.
Did she message you back?
No.
No.
I'm sure she read it.
I'm
had
sure.
a bit of a cry.
Yeah. 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 You could be the first person I've ever met that is a Steph McGovern fan.
I was read out 5 times on Steph's packed lunch.
5 times.
Yeah. There's a bit on my Facebook, I think, where I told her that I looked like Paddy off Emmerdale. And there was a picture of me and him.
Right.
And she didn't say no never, which broke my heart a little bit.
Right.
But she laughed.
She laughed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the routine.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you've watched. So you're not watching Steph now.
No, Steph's gone.
So are you watching Phone in Bed?
No.
Right.
So since Christmas, when it should have been back on, I've lost. After that, because I won't watch Loose Women.
No,
No.
not watching that.
So this week, I'm watching all the old Superman films.
Don't mind me asking, where does the work come into it then? If you don't mind me asking, I haven't heard no work yet. In between.
Yeah. So
Right.
I've got my little tablet here
Right.
with it on. But when Steph was on, work took a backseat. Can't lie.
No,
You know what I mean?
it's understandable.
I mean, I'd do that for her.
She's dreamy, yeah?
Yeah.
Dreamy.
She's a lesbian.
Oh,
Yeah, but,
oh,
you know.
it's a shame.
That just plays into it.
Yeah, you never know. do you?
Yeah, you never know. Like
You never know.
You never know. People
Conversions.
turn on that.
Yeah.
People can change their mind.
They
You know,
can.
It's 2024. Be what you want now. Well, you threw me off there. I was going to ask you about working from home and how you feel about it now.
I loved it at the start.
And now?
It's like a prison cell.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's the solution? Are you just going to stick it out?
There's no chance of me going back to the office
Why?
because I could go back to the office, but there's no one I work with in there. So I'm better off I would have just be sat there with people around me who I didn't know.
Right.
But I could get to know them, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you hate it that much now, working from home, would you say you hate it?
I don't hate it.
No?
But it's just some days you're like, ugh. I'm going to walk from the kitchen to the front room now. Right. How many steps is that? You know what I mean? And live across the road from a shop.
I know this shop well.
So some days I go over the shop just to have a bit of crack with the lads. They don't know.
No.
I'm like, they don't know. How are you doing? All right, all right, yeah.
For a lookout.
Yeah, just something to do.
Yeah. Have you had any odd jobs in your life? Any jobs? Obviously, you're working for Northgate now. Have you had any odd jobs? Any peculiar jobs? I've had a few.
I used to sell double glazed.
Right. Door to door.
Yeah,
Nightmare. Knocking.
yeah. Get your own leads. It was horrible.
That's
horrible.
a tough gig, that, innit?
Horrible, that.
Yeah.
Got attacked twice.
God.
Off an old granny. I was coming up a drive, like back from a drive, and it was angling home improvement. So I've got my thing like, and she went, "What are you doing? I don't even want it." Started just hitting me with a shop and bruises all down there, tins. You know what I mean? It was horrible. And then this one bloke. So you're working that you've got the front done, but you don't know if they've got the back done. So you're working that they don't have the back done. So I can see you've got the front done. It looks beautiful. What about the back? Have you ever considered the back? So I've said that to him, and he's like, it was in Merrybent, this, and he's pushed me. I was only up 19. He's pushed me like this. Get you lot did it for us. You lot just pushed me. And he pushed me to the ground.
Oh, and your company had done it.
And then I didn't. I just went. Well, I called him a name,
Yeah.
and then my boss who was knocking the other side. He just said, "Oh, we'll leave this street now."
And that was that.
Yeah, we'll leave that street, seeing as you've called a customer like a name and that.
What's your most favourite job? You can't say comedian.
My favourite job. I pretty much hated all work, if I'm honest.
Really?
Not hated it, just I've never really found something that
No. Work's
that
work.
I've
innit?
thought, yeah, it's a means to an end, isn't it?
Best job I ever had. There was two. Believe it or not, the first one was McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's at a time I was 17, and on your break, your lunch, whatever you want to
Oh,
call
you're
it,
allowed like a McDonald's.
you're allowed, back then, you were allowed as much as you wanted. Imagine the damage you do.
I know.
Imagine, because, you know, some people would have some decorum, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But certain people will see that as a challenge. Do you know what I mean? So you'd knock yourself bad. You'd take the piss. And it was common. It wasn't like you didn't feel like, well, I'm being cheeky. Everybody did it. You know them brown trays?
Yeah.
You'd stack everything you could on the brown tray. And there'd be this, the bait room wasn't, it was from me to you and squared. and there was a desk in the middle with loads of chairs, and you'd get, you go on breaks at different times, but there'd be 4 or 5 of you sat there with these trays of scran.
You simply couldn't eat it.
You simply couldn't. I mean, you had a good go. You McDonald's is delicious. Do you know what I mean? You'd have a good go, but by God, you'd knock yourself bad. Do you know, this security or whatever you want to call it then, it was ridiculous. Like, I can remember...
Was that in the...
It was Morton Park, the drive-through.
Right, yeah.
But obviously, you know how it goes. 17-year-old, you work there. What do your mates do? You know how this story goes.
Yeah.
They want free gear.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And where did Daft Lad work? I worked on the drive-through. Do you know what I mean? So it would, and the tills, that was my job. I was never in the kitchen. I was either on the front counter at tills, which is the best bit to do it, or the drive-through. And I can remember, like, just, they'd come in, they'd buy a burger for 70 pence. That's what a burger was then, hamburger, 79 pence, I think it was. I would just get the brown bag and just literally a big, massive bag. No one would stop you. But that was one of my best jobs. And the other one was a van driver. Mm. It's a shame, right, that van driver, they don't pay better. Do you know what I mean? Because I think that could be the best job ever.
You're out and about. You left your own devices.
You left your own devices. It's
sunshine Sheilas in the summer.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? I was 18-year-old. I got sent up Newcastle in this van. I was smoking ganja then. Do you know? Living my best life, going across Newcastle Bridge, rocking up parking tickets and whatever wrong bus lane tickets that I didn't have to pay. Do you know? What a life. Life of a van driver. I nearly killed myself one day, like. I was, I don't do it now, but back then I liked a bit of the marijuana.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A little bit of marijuana. And I was that much of a wrong'un, I was smoking in a pipe. Remember them little crack pipes you get?
Yeah.
And I'm driving up the road. I was going to Bishop Auckland, up this country road, to our depot up there. It was a electrical company. I had loads of tube lights and that in the back. I'm driving up, and I'd done this loads of times before. Looking back, it seems ridiculous. But silly ass here is driving with his knees up the country road. I've got some of me marijuana, and I put it in me little crack pipe, and I'm going, and I'm smoking me drugs off my pipe, and all of a sudden, I've looked up, and, well, you know where the story goes, I'm head on to a hedge, I'm in this Mercedes Vito van, and it just, they have them, like, the sides of the country roads is them like grass verges. There's like a hedge with a fence in it. Do you know what I mean? I go boom, just straight up, bang through the fence. I'm now in a spud field in a Mercedes Vito. People have.
You can smoke spuds, can't you?
Well,
maybe
yeah.
That was why you were attracted to it.
Maybe, yeah. I got out. There was some damage, but not much. But yeah, that was a good job.
You're keeping me in wages there.
Yeah.
If it was now. Because I just look at damaged vans.
Is that what you do for Northgate?
Yeah.
Ours wasn't a Northgate van, though. You only work with Northgate vans?
Yeah, just Northgate.
Yeah.
I've thought my best job, I've thought now.
Go on.
I worked in Morrison's when I was at college. And on North Road.
Yeah.
And we got away with murder there, like.
Did you?
Oh, I was the only grocery lad in on the Sunday. Right.
What's a grocery lad?
So you got like that Market Street in Morrison, you got your fish and all that.
Fantastic.
So I was just the rest of it. Like the shelves, all the shelves and that. So I just used to go, right, fill up that shelf, whatever. But I was just used to spend my time in the warehouse.
Right.
The back bit. And like kids' toothpaste for baby, like toddlers, they're only about that big.
Yeah.
But they're like a triangular thing like that.
Yes, I know what you mean.
So one had fell out of the packet. And I remember throwing it up in the air. It's like stanchions like this. Yeah. To see if if it could hit the roof. Right?
It's a scientific test.
Yeah. So I'm going, catching it. Oh, it's stuck on the stand. I was like, oh, well, it's stuck. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I was doing liquids and bleachers.
Ooh.
So I've got my Domestos there. Puts it on the shelf, comes back. Woman of fish, Angela Brock, she was called, right? Never forget.
Shout out, Angela.
She was like that, with her eye like that, holding it like that, coming out. I can't believe this shit fell from the ceiling. And she had blood coming down here. I think just like the sharp end was the core in the eye. Went,
Never.
Are you all right? Are you all right?
You played, you knew nothing about it, obviously.
Steve, what's going on?
Hey, it's funny we just said this here. I just remembered an even better job. Listen to this, lads. This is real. Who remembers, Southpaw, you weren't even born, who remembers the nightclub that used to be the Plastered Parrot, but then it became the Lounge?
Yeah, the Lounge, yeah.
Now, why was the Lounge interesting? Do you remember? 'Cause it wasn't just a nightclub. It was the last thing it was, I think, before it shut down.
Did it have them cages?
It used to have strippers
Oh, yeah. Oh, upstairs.
upstairs.
Yeah, I remember that.
So Daft Lad here, at 18-year-old, landed himself a job in the Lounge. Now, I worked on the bar downstairs, but upstairs was the strippers bit. Obviously, I had access to the back stairs and all this. Now, I wasn't looking... I honestly, hand on heart, this was an honest thing. I wasn't thinking this at the time. I wasn't some predator looking.
I think it was the same when my dad got sacked for not having a stoppy back. That's same.
Right, well, you know. But I'd had to... There was... Out the back, there was stock. And I was told to go this one particular time. I mean, the hours were shite. You were working from 10 till 4 in the morning. It was terrible. But this did happen. I remember one time being told to go and get whatever it was, a case of whatever. There was none down here, so I had to go to the bar upstairs because they'd have some. So I'd gone up the back staircase, it all interconnected, and there was like a back, I don't want to say a staff room, it was just like a room where it wasn't part of the bar. There was, a desk in there, paperwork in there, crates or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've walked through this door, up this staircase, and as I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to get some crates, and I've gone banging open the door. Well, you know what I was faced with? 6 pairs of titties. Do you know what I mean? 6 pairs of breasts. Looking at me, all these strippers.
Result.
Yeah, these are all, these are all 35-year-old women. Do you know what I mean? My ass just fell out. Oh, do you know, Miss Patterson? Do you know, like, thingy off, you know what I mean? That's what I felt like. Oh, never. Do you know, I'm looking down at the floor. All right, son, how are you doing there? All that loud and thingy. Oh, fucking hell. Do you know what it is? And I'm in an absolute nightmare here. They've all got fake boobs, all blonde hair. They've all had a few drinks, probably a few lines of coke. I don't know what they were up to. So I've had to go through them. They're like, hey, mate, what are you looking for? And like, and they're all talking to me. Oh, my God. It was both wonderful, but at the same time, devastating.
Oh, that wasn't there. That was it.
Not long.
I
Not
remember
long.
going in.
Yeah, it was only there for a couple of years.
Woman head to toe. What she had on was stars and stripes.
Like American style. Yeah,
like
yeah,
a little
yeah.
skirt, stars and stripes, stock like football socks, but
Yeah.
stars and stripes.
Wonderful.
And I said, where are you from? Like Tennessee or something? Hartlepool. I said, don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Could you get lap dances in that there?
You could, yeah.
Could
yeah.
you? Could, yeah.
So I've been taught, like. So I've been taught. So
So
it was it.
yeah.
It was that bit so the bar was there and there was like a semicircle seat thing. I think you could get one at your seat.
Could you? Obviously, I never got that luxury. I was at work, but I do know there was strippers in that, and
Yeah, it didn't last long, did it?
nah, damn shame. Damn shame.
I'll never forget the first.
Is the memory vivid?
Hartlepool.
Hartlepool.
No, yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, look, we all have the, the romanticised version of a stripper, the ones from the movies. But let's be honest, for the most part, the reality
Yeah, no.
isn't like that.
No.
She's had 4 kids.
Yeah.
She smoked 40 a day. She's now in her mid-40s. Bless her. She's a lovely woman, but she's not like she is in the films. She's been working 6 hours. The deodorant stopped working now.
Was that your first experience of a strip club?
Yes, it was my first experience. I think seeing boobs, mate, in real life. To be honest,
Yeah.
To be fair, yeah.
I'll never forget mine. We were out in Magaluf for my dad's 40th, and it
Your
was
dad took it Magaluf for his 40th.
for his 40th. He went with all his pals, and I went with one of the other dad's sons. We tagged along, and it was one of the nights we're all absolutely steaming. And Dad said, "All right, okay, I'm going to take your son to your first ever strip club." I was 17, absolutely nippy ass, absolutely crapping it. Now this lass walks over to me with knockers bigger than my head. I didn't know what to do.
Knockers.
Knockers bigger than my. I didn't have a clue.
Knockers.
And she walks up, hi, how are you doing? She went, you coming with me, aren't you, son? 'Cause my dad had slipped to 20.
How old are you, South?
I was 17. But then my uncle, who's a very funny man, I won't shout him out, but a very, very funny man. And she went, well, I can't take it all off, though, because, you know, it's you've only gave us 20. I went, oh, that's fine, don't worry about it. And all of a sudden, over my shoulder, take it all off, love. And then my uncle, I was like, oh, I was petrified. First ever time. Never forget it. But yeah, first experience of a strip club, 17.
The more I hear about Southpaw Senior, the more
Southpaw Senior.
I hear these stories about his dad. His dad's a legend. I've never met him, but I just hear these snippets from him.
Oh,
what a guy!
How old is he now then?
My dad's 52 now, but yeah, he's shown us a good side to the world.
Fam. Hang on. If he's 52 now, and his 40th was 12 years ago, and you 23.
No, he's 50. Sorry, he's 54 now.
That's even worse.
That's even worse.
That means you're about 8.
Oh my God. What was your uncle playing at?
No. I might have got the dates wrong. I think he might.
Was it his 50th?
Potentially his 50th.
That sounds about right,
Potentially
doesn't
his 50th then. Yeah, it was his 50th. That was it.
Christ.
Not the 40th.
I was going to say, it's a childline job here.
Yeah,
Right.
that was quite the experience.
Didn't think they did a kiddies club.
Oh, it was no kiddie school, this one. I
Jet
think
too, eh?
I think everybody remembers the first time in a strip club, though.
Oh, Magaluf, we were in a strip club, funny enough.
Oh, yeah.
We're all getting them. My mate Kenny, he says, I don't need one, mate. This woman's sat on his knee, stripper.
Right.
So we're all off getting a lap dance, whatever. And he comes back, he said, I don't need one, and I've already pulled it. I not paid for a lap dance, I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying for a lap dance like you. Anyway, so we went, and it was his round, and she'd been sat on his knee, just nicking his money.
No.
Oh, no.
She'd been tea leaving him?
Yeah, so she said, the only way, I thought she was feeling me leg. She was like, he thinks she was like pushing his money up, and then just went, whoop, thank you.
So he's now skint no lap dance?
Skint, no lap dance, come buy a drink.
Fuming.
Wasn't happy.
I've never been in a lap dance. I've never had a lap dance. Never.
You joke?
Nah, I've been in that. Obviously, I worked in one briefly, but I didn't really see that bit of it. No, I've never been in one.
Well, there was one in Leeds.
I heard about this.
She just started doing the top of her head. As it was like a blowjob. But it was like the top of her head like that. As it was a dolphin. I was imagining she had a hole in her head like a dolphin. I thought, what is she doing? And then she's naked.
Yeah.
She's naked.
As
She
you
went,
do.
and then she went, extra tenner. I says, what for? You got to put your clothes on? I said, well, I've seen it now, haven't I?
Yeah.
I thought, it might be worth an extra tenner for the old dolphin, like.
Yeah.
But no, I got rid of Flipper.
You didn't pay the extra tenner?
No.
No. I can imagine what the extra tenner was for, but I won't say. I would have paid the tenner, just so you know. Right? Just saying, for the record. I'm sure it was something decent, you know.
Yeah, well.
It wouldn't be nothing too bad.
Maybe she wanted me to do something with her all in her head. Don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I've been to worse in a strip club, though. I don't know.
I've heard.
Yeah. I went to, many, many, many moons ago. I've told this story, but I'll tell it again. Many, many moons ago, I was abroad and I went to, half by accident, but half knowing where I was going. I think I'm pretending to myself that it was an accident, but I think deep down I knew. It was called like a bathhouse, right? Like a swingers bathhouse, right? Cut a long story short, I end up in this place where there is, I could have been one of the youngest people in there. And the attire...
You weren't 8, were you?
No, I wasn't 8. No, but I wasn't much older. I was just old enough. And the attire was nothing. It was the attire. And the deal is, you're walking around this, what seems like a Roman temple, right? It's pretty extravagant. You know, there was pools and...
Marble.
Saunas, marble, you've got it. All dark lit, but it was a bit seedier than that. There was lots of red lights and stuff like this. And there was lots of naked people of older age than me. Interesting. Males, females. And well, I think you can imagine where the story goes. This older lady had a way with me. I don't mind telling you. Yeah. I can remember one moment of this older lady having a way with me, and me being in a precarious situation with something in front of my face, and looking to the side and seeing a gentleman stood,
Watching.
and more than that,
Okay.
and more than that. Yes.
All right.
Yes, I'll leave the rest to the imagination. But I mean, what is one to do in that situation?
I wish you had.
What is one to do? You know, you can't say, get off me. You can't say, what are you doing? You just have to sort of go with it. You know, you've got yourself in this predicament.
I could. Mine's bigger than yours. Hey.
It definitely wasn't.
What do you mean? This isn't the wife, is it?
Now, funnily enough, when I look back at this story, I think at first I just thought it was a stranger. I thought it was just like a thing that, like, it's like a free place. Everybody does this sort of thing. And I thought, what if that was her husband?
Yeah, well, it could be.
And maybe he was getting off on what he was seeing. I don't know.
She said, he's gone, get that young in there.
Yeah.
Let me watch.
Yeah.
And then he's...
it was that was life
horrible,
experience.
isn't it, that?
It was a life experience, you know? It was one of them. So let's talk about, because I'm excited about this bit. I'm excited about comedy.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
You do comedy in that.
Yeah.
You do that. When did you... Okay, no, hang on. Right. Obviously now you've got a knack for comedy. I know you'd be modest, but I've seen a few bits, and you are a funny guy, right? It's goes without saying, you're a funny guy. You know when you were at school?
Yeah.
Were you the funny kid at school? Or not particularly?
Yeah, but there was kids as funny as me.
Was there?
There was a lot of us that were...
Were you shy at school?
No.
Right. So you've always had this ability to be in front of people and not be shy.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Right. Because being a comedian, you know, to where you are, there's two things going on here. Yes, you've got to be funny, but you've also got to be not bothered about stood in front of people. So, like, and this is just a genuine question as a fan of comedy, I always wonder, like, I never hear comedians talking about it. What were they like as kids? Were they just, you know, automatically, I want to be in front of people, everybody look at me? Were they funny, or is it something you develop and practice?
I'm a show-off. I'm a bit of a show-off.
Right.
So, like I do the quizzes and the little bingo and stuff. I don't mind talking in public and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And as far as I like a crack. I like the crack. I like a good laugh.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, I wouldn't say I was the funniest one, but I'm always like quite jovial. You know what I mean? And the stand-up I'd never really thought of at all. And then I got 2022, it was my birthday, and my stepmom just said, do you fancy that for your birthday? It was just a course.
Huh.
It's just a comedy course.
Hang on a minute, fam. You're telling me that this journey of you being a comedian started in 2022?
Yeah.
What the F even? As if. Huh. Well, it's clear through watching what I've watched about you, you were a comedian before 2022. You haven't just started this there. You've just got something about you, haven't you? You have. You must have. Well, you've thrown me off there. As if I thought you'd been doing this donkey's years. Never.
No,
So that's how you got into it.
yeah.
You just did a course.
Yeah.
What happens on this course then?
I
You pay your money, you turn up, then what?
didn't know what to expect. So it was in Stockton.
Right.
So I got the train and I was thinking, I bet it's like, they'll all be fellas, like young lads, probably like late teens, early 20s, mostly students maybe from Teesside University. I thought I'll be the oldest one there by a mile, in my 40s. Like. And then I got there and there was a bloke there and he was older than 20s. I thought he was like late 20s. Turns out he's 40. Botoxed up, the lad.
Good paper round.
He was there.
I wouldn't
and
dare
then
get
a
Botox.
woman came in next and she was in her 70s.
Never.
And then another woman, mostly women, then lads come in, a little bit younger, around the same age as me. And it was like a mixed group. So I wasn't expecting that. And then all he said first, we're going to tell you what actually a joke is. So you might think you know what a joke is, but if you break it down, you can make a joke about anything. So he taught us so you got the setup, the anticipation, and then the punchline. And all the punchline is a left turn to what people think it's going to be.
Right. Not what they'll expect.
Yeah.
Right. Huh. So they're teaching you the structure.
How to construct a joke, yeah.
Right. I didn't think there was a structure. I certainly, I didn't think it was that scientific.
Yeah.
So, okay. The setup, so the anticipation is rather than just saying, "Ba-dum, tsh," old school, like Tommy Cooper style,
There's
for
a lot-
example.
Sorry.
Because there was no. I suppose Tommy Cooper did use some anticipation. It was just much shorter, like 2-3 second jobs.
He told us as well, imagine your joke, right? Every word you use is 50 quid. So take out the words you don't need. So you need to get from the start to the finish in as small, like not use as many words as possible.
Right.
You keep people involved. You don't ramble on. You don't lose them.
Right, yeah. Because if you're going around the houses telling this big story and half of it doesn't, or 3/4 of it doesn't need to be in there, I went to the shop.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, well, it was on the morning, it was a nice day, I walked past so-and-so, I saw this on the way and I got to the shop. There's no need for all that.
No.
It's just, I went to the shop.
Yeah, I went to the shop.
Right.
This happened. Bang.
Bang. And then catch them with a left turn.
Yeah.
When they're expecting you to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
So
Sort
really,
of.
like that basics, structure of a joke.
Yeah.
So then it was like you had to write a joke.
You had to.
using that.
They told you
Yeah.
to write a joke.
So they said, like, right at the end, he said, first bit of advice, first thing he said to us was, "You're not Frankie Boyle."
Right.
And we were like, I said, all right, what do you want? He said, the level that you're going to be at when you're beginning, don't be offensive. Don't come across like a dickhead.
Right.
You're going to be middle of the road. You'll get bookings. Then when you get a following, you can do what you like.
Yeah.
But this will help you get on the circuit. And it did. You couldn't say it fairer.
How long was this course then?
10 weeks.
10 weeks. One night a week?
Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon.
2 hours, I think.
So 10 slots of 2 hours, and that is the course start to finish.
Yeah.
So you've constructed a joke. What else does he keep? What other things go on in this course? So you've got the joke construction, or is it just practicing that over and over and over again?
You just have to write something sort of every week.
Right.
So it'll give you like a subject. Write about that.
Right.
Look at who's your favourite comedian. So I would look at, don't really have one.
Don't you?
Like, I like Reeves and Mortimer,
Yeah.
but I like anything that makes me laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like, look at someone performing stand-up and see how you could say the same joke but make it your own. So I was listening to Mike Reed, Frank Butcher, out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
EastEnders.
Was he a comedian?
Yeah,
Was he really?
yeah.
Did stand up? And there's videos of him online? Never. I didn't know that. Well, he was an actor.
So that's when he was a comedian before he was an actor.
Right.
So I just based a bit on him. But then you have to... what I wanted from me was at least 5 minutes, because then you had a showcase at the end. And it was in a theatre in Stockton, the Georgian Theatre.
Oh, yeah.
So some of us had a minute or so. I had about 6 or 7 minutes.
Right. So you do like a little mini set?
A mini set, yeah.
Never. So had you pre-wrote this?
Yeah,
And you'd memorised it, you'd practiced it at home in front of the mirror?
yeah.
Right. What's that like, doing your own set in front of the mirror? Do you think, what the fuck am I doing here? Or is it you've obviously just slipped into this. It's like, I'm supposed to be doing this.
It's like, I don't do it in front of the mirror. I just talk as if I'm talking to myself.
But you speak out aloud
Yeah,
on your
yeah,
head.
yeah.
Huh.
Because it's coming from you.
Yeah.
So you're halfway there with remembering it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh yeah, I've done that. So I tried to have when he said don't offend anyone. So I was conscious of that. So I tried to make it all come back on me.
Like
So
self
like I'm the joke
Yeah,
type
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So then I can be the only one who can be offended, really.
Yeah. That's smart. Because then you'd be as offensive as you want if it's about you. I was going to ask you about that. You know, let's call it the red line.
Yeah.
What I mean by the red line is what you can and you can't say. Do you think that red line is closing in, or you think it's getting more able to say stuff? Like, for example, you can't use the R word now. I hear, whatever the, learning disabilities or whatever the correct term is. Apparently you can't say the R word.
Yeah.
Well, I can. It's retarded.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and like, I don't know this because I'm not a comedian, but like, can you take the mick out with like homosexuals and stuff now like you used to? Like, once upon a time that would be a joke. Do you know, like you hear the word PUFF, stuff like this. Like, that's what I want to ask you as a comedian. I presume you've been a fan of comedy.
Yeah.
The red line. Is it coming back on itself? Are you becoming more restricted in what you can and you can't joke about?
You have to watch what you say. The way I look, right? So every set I do, I'm conscious because I'm a big bloke with a baldy head and I'm a white middle-aged man. So when I come on the stage without saying anything, people have already worked out what they think I am. You know what I mean?
Because you do judge a book by the cover.
Yeah.
You just do human nature.
So the first thing I do, I try to make it a bit daft.
Right.
So I've got a song about a shit umbrella I had,
Right.
right?
Would you care to share that song?
It's probably on Facebook.
Is it?
But yeah, it's just about, I woke up in the morning, it's the Brolly Blues, it's called.
Right.
So you will go, da-da-da-da-da, right? Are you ready?
Du-du-du-du-du.
I woke up this morning,
Du-du-du-du-du.
it was raining outside,
Du-du-du-du-du.
from the bad weather.
Du-du-du-du-du.
I just couldn't hide.
Du-du-du-du-du.
I got my umbrella.
Du-du-du-du-du.
It fell apart in my hand. It's the worst umbrella
Du-du-du-du-du.
in all the land. I've got the Brawley, the Brawley Blues. But that's really, it's shit, but it's to disarm them. So now they're thinking, this bloke's coming on, he might be a bit racist, this lad, or he might be this and that. And I'm singing about the shit umbrella, then they don't know where they're at.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So I try to disarm them like that.
Yeah. I like that. Because, yeah, you like people will, but they see you come on stage, they think, oh, remember the BNP coming here?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they'll think. But it's clever, that. Straight on stage, bit of silliness. Do you know what I mean?
I do a bit of magic with my fingers, which is stupid. I just go like that. And then they're looking at you like that, and I go, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
again, they're disarmed.
Yeah. I'll tell you something, what I thought was a little bit of comedy. You know, I mentioned that you remind me a bit of Vic Reeves. This video is disturbing, but also very like Vic Reeves in the facial expression. It's the black pudding video, which I'll say, Norm, is
All right.
I hope that's fake. I hope they're cooked.
No, they were raw.
Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't say that. Can I have a look at that video, Southpaw?
Yeah, here we go.
The suspense,
Dinner time.
Norm.
We're nearly there. Raw black pudding. It's the best.
That's very Vic Reeves-esque, you know. You know, your facial expressions and that, how you doing it. It's brilliant. When you first seen it, I was thinking, what's he doing here? And you pulled out raw black pudding, but piss myself. And I watched that, I'm telling you, no, I thought he's lying. He just messed about with the packet. It's cooked. Has to be cooked.
No, it was raw.
Fam, how you drink? How's that? Look, hang on. You can't eat raw black pudding, mate.
It's lovely. Can you not tell?
What's it? I know I'm going to say what's it taste like. I'm going to say like raw black pudding.
You know, I mean,
It's blood in it,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, it's, it's a...
It's good for you, I bet.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Any repercussions from that? Was his stomach all right?
If anything, I felt superhuman.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that, but it came in my head. The black pudding story. But the red line, yeah, as you say.
You've got to be really careful what you say. So if you... I've seen comics that are... They'll say things. And it doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Comedy's good. You can say what you like. Comedy's comedy, right? If it's funny, you laugh.
Yeah.
But this one lad has said something, and then the next day, someone who was there put a video on, didn't name no names, put a video on Instagram. And if you were there, you knew what she was getting at, type thing. But... So, yeah, you've got to be really, really careful.
You know, you mentioned Frankie Boyle. Jimmy Carr comes to my head as well, where obviously these are huge. And like Frankie Boyle, in a different way, Jimmy Carr pretty much gets his laughs through pushing the boundaries.
Yeah.
I'm of the belief, I assume you are, as a fellow comedian, you tell me as well, Southpaw, I feel like if you're going to a comedy show...
Yeah.
You have paid your money. You are sitting down. The deal is, if you cannot handle absolutely anything been said, and I mean anything, it should be all gloves are off. In this environment here, this is where the rules don't apply. They're only words. Nobody's doing these things.
Yeah.
The words. That's what comedy is. It's words to get a reaction, whether it be funny, shock, whatever. For me, if I watch a comedian like... I mean, the best one, what was that? Bill Hicks back in the day, people like that. Like, if I'm sitting down watching a comedy show, I will take as much, I guess, joy out of pissing myself laughing or going, oh my God, like it's still, you're getting the reaction. Do you not think that that's how it should be?
Yes, yeah. I think...
So why isn't it then?
The level I'm at, it's difficult. Because if you saw such and such a way, because it's such a mixed bag on all the bills that you're on, you see what I mean? So you could have one where he's really offensive and he's really dark and stuff, and then you've got another one with a lady in her 60s who's talking about bathroom wallpaper, something like, you know what I mean? So you've got to be really, really careful. That's what he was saying at the beginning. You've got to be middle of the road till you get a following.
Is there not an element of like, again, this is from a divvy's perspective, but like, if I had the balls to be a comedian and I was funny, right? Let's just pretend for a moment I had them two things. And I'm setting out on my path, right? Or I'm starting it's 2022. How do I get from here to the Netflix special? How do I get there? Because that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Millions of quid for a Netflix special. You know the deal. Well, for me, I'd think, all right, there's all this competition, right? I'm going into a pool of thousands, maybe tens of thousands. How am I going to stand out?
Yeah.
For me, I'd be like, well, I'm gonna be the most. They'll remember me, whether they like me or not. They'll remember me, and I'm gonna say everything. I'm gonna say things that make people go, oh my God. Whether they're going home saying he was funny as out, or you should have heard what he said. I'd want him to remember what I'd said.
There's an audience for that. There's a big audience for it. Like
depends on your style, your lane, innit?
Yeah.
Depends where you fit. Like Vic Reeves and that, he was never that type of comedian.
No.
You know what I mean? So that wasn't his lane. But you get some comedians who are straight dark. I admit they don't normally get the Netflix specials, like, to be honest. But you can make a living through doing a circuit, being that. But for me, that would be my tactic. I would just go out and think, I'm going to shock them. I mean, yes, you've got to have the stage presence. You've got to have some humour in there as well. But it annoys me, is what I'm saying. As a comedy fan, it annoys me that there is this red line for comedians. Okay, if I'm in the supermarket or I'm in a place of employment, whatever, yes, I can't say retarded. I can't take the mick out of if he, she's, furries, trannies, gays, whatever. Right, I get it. Yes, this is society. But when you're sat in a room that is playing comedy, no, man, this is a theatre.
See, the thing is, if you start your this is the other side of the coin, right? So if you take them on a journey,
Yeah,
right, where it's okay for people to laugh at what you're saying,
right.
then that's fine. But if you come out and then you're offensive, and no one's laughing, then that's where I see a lot of people go, oh well, no, he's just offensive.
Going wrong.
But if they're allowed to laugh,
Yeah.
then I know a lad. I've done a few gigs with him, and he's a big bloke, and he's Egyptian,
Right.
and he might see it. I don't know, right? But he'll know I'm talking about. People I know, people know I'm on about. He takes his glasses off at the end, and he does a joke about him look like Harvey Price, right? Now sometimes it lands, and sometimes it doesn't. But I think I might have, if I haven't said it to him, I've said it to someone else. Sorry if I haven't said it to you. But if you can, when they do laugh, he's took them on a journey. So at the end, it's all right for them to laugh at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I mean is, if you don't have that journey,
It might be a bit much.
and then what you got to consider is as well, some comedy audiences, it's the first time they've been to comedy. So they don't know
I get it.
if it's all right to laugh.
Yeah.
Or if it's all right. I'm not saying everyone thinks I'm funny,
I'm sure they do.
but sometimes you can see, should I laugh, should I not laugh?
Yeah.
And they don't know.
I guess to some extent, I guess it would be good to have it in your arsenal, but to be able to read a room. Like, you can read, I imagine you can read what type of an audience you've got.
Yeah.
I imagine. Like, if you're going in the working man's club, you know there's certain lines you can cross, as opposed to you going to I don't know, I haven't got a good example, but a retirement party or something like that, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain, it's what speaks for itself. I mean, can you tell, as you're going through a comedy show, through the feedback you're getting, can you tell what type of an audience you've got, and do they change, or is it just an audience for you? Okay, I'm asking where would you find the best audience for your comedy? What works for you?
I've had sound like a bit like I've only really ever died once,
I can ask you that.
and it was horrible.
Tell us about it.
I was only it was the August from the May 2022.
So it's just after. So you're literally 3 months later.
Yeah. And it was one of the lads who ran it,
Right.
the course, and he's a promoter as well.
Right.
And it was one of his nights, and it was in Otley, in Yorkshire.
Oh, yeah.
And we got there, and I thought, well, he's asked me to do it, so I must be all right. You know what I mean? And I thought, I really don't want to let him down. I don't know if the nerves got to me. You know what I mean? And I started off, and I've always had like a good reaction, and no one laughed. And I thought, oh, no.
Radio silence.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What, as you come on, you done your first bit, you
Yeah.
tried to get them giggling.
Nobody laughed.
Oh, no.
I thought, oh, no. And then I carried on, and I got a couple of chuckles. And then I carried on, and no one was laughing. And then I felt myself go into myself.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And he said, I knew you knew you were dying.
Your testicles go up
Because
into your
I
tummy.
started self-hugging. I had the mic like that, and I was like that.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Literally, like looking at the floor like this. Oh, no.
But then I had a gig the night after, and I said exactly the same thing. Had like the same routine.
Yeah.
And I lifted the roof off.
Same place?
Different place.
Different place.
So it was, the audiences vary.
Yeah.
But what he did say, you try to take with you, is that he said maybe that audience wasn't for you, but when you get more experienced and you write more stuff, you'll be able to change that in your head.
Right.
So you'll think, right, this isn't working, I'll try this.
Yeah.
This isn't. So you'll be like a joke box.
Right.
I've said that wrong. A joke box.
Yeah, I get
So
it.
you'd be like, right, I'll try this. But at the time, I didn't have that.
Right. That's, I guess, as you get more of an arsenal.
Yeah.
Over time, you collate and 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, your box of tricks is bigger and bigger and bigger, like an arsenal. And when you go in a room, like you say, you throw a few things out. If it's all flying, good. It's good. Keep going like this. But if it's radio silence, you can go, right, I'm going down
I'll
this
try
road.
this road.
Yeah.
I've tried it. So the biggest laughs I get is about. So I thought I'll find the lowest common denominator, so it's relatable,
Right.
and that's sex.
Yes.
Right. Everyone wants it. Everyone's had it. Everyone knows what it is. Right. Some people in the audience might not know what a green avocado bathroom suite is from the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
but everyone knows what sex is.
Yeah.
So I talk the first half, I always talk about the sex. Right. But it's always back on me that I'm useless at it and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I end with the variation in sex noises. Right. So I'll go through 5 different sex noises and I'll relate it to something.
Yeah.
So it's like the woman who's put a hot chip in her mouth. You know what I mean? Like, or there's a woman who's on the front carriage of a roller coaster just about to go over the edge. Oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck. You know, there's like 5 of them,
Yeah.
you know. But what happens with that is, right, is the women in the audience, the men laugh, the women don't laugh. Like, the women laugh, but they laugh more, and I've done it that often now, I know what sounds they make.
Yeah. You can tell by looking at them. Oh,
So
that's
if,
this.
if,
That's
there's if there's one really laughing at one, I mention it.
Yeah.
I say, you're a hot chip girl, aren't you? And she,
Yeah. All right. Listen, hold that thought. I need a piss. Is that all right?
Yeah,
Let me
go
go for a
it.
pee.
Yeah.
Be right back.
How many shows at this point do you think you've done?
70 odd, I think.
70 odd.
Yeah.
So you won't be far off being able to have that arsenal of being able to change, as you say, a joke jukebox.
There's one lad I know, every time he's on, he does a different 10 minutes every single time.
But he's got a lot of time.
And
in his
I'm
hands.
like, that's so brave.
Yeah.
He's making a fresh 10 minutes
Yeah,
every single time.
Every single time he's on, yeah.
Is the mecca to get like an hour? Is that the thing?
Most of the shows are like, if you do a show in Edinburgh,
Yeah.
they'll want an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How far are you off an hour?
I think I've got it all in. I could have got 40, 45 maybe.
40, 45.
I could stretch it out.
You just talk really slow.
Really slow. Like that.
If it's a blinder and they're laughing in between,
Yeah.
that's going to space it out for
Yeah.
you. But them dead nights, that's a nightmare, that.
So I'll go-
You know what? Here's a question, right? And this is just something I heard literally recently. As you can tell, I spend my time listening to podcasts of comedians. Why people get into comedy. Have you heard of a guy called Tom Segura?
No.
One of my favourites at the moment. I only found him about 6 months ago. American guy. I just like his style. He's a storyteller. He's calm. It's like darkly witty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Witty, but some of it, he'll push a boundary a little bit and you're like, oh, it's a bit brutal, but it's good. Do you know what I mean? He's a anybody who listen to Tom Segura. He's on Netflix. His latest one's called Sledgehammer.
Okay.
Sledgehammer.
All right, okay.
Honestly, it's worth the watch. Really good. But he talks about, not in the set, he talks about why people get into comedy. And I heard him mention that he said, we get into comedy because we weren't given the approval or the attention when we were a kid and we're longing for it. And I thought, is that just you, Tom, or is that everybody? Is there any... Do you think comedians are a certain strain? Do you think they have anything in common? Do you think they did lack something as a kid or not?
I think most of them are well, they like to show off.
You think?
I think that there's that inside of them. I've never met anyone, even the bad ones I've seen, where they're not. They might be nervous, but where they're not like hesitating. Oh, what am I going to do here? You know what I mean? They're straight in, bang, laugh at me, don't laugh at me, whatever. You know, because some people I've seen shouldn't really be doing it.
No.
I'm not saying. I might be one of them, but
You definitely aren't one of them. Definitely. You're a funny guy, mate. You're a funny guy. Some people just have it automatically. No, not everybody, I suppose, who's funny could be a comedian because you've got to have the balls to stand on stage.
that's it as well, right? So you get people in the pub who are funny,
Oh, yeah, Northeast humour.
and people will say, like, my mates say to me, I'm funnier than you. Well, like, I could do what you do. I could do that.
Well, go on then.
And I think to myself, well, you probably could. But there's a difference between that and telling a joke. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's a different skill altogether. I've come to learn that, like, it's not just...
Listen, some of the funniest people I ever met or ever saw weren't on the telly.
No.
I used to be a welder and I worked at a company called Press and Fab. My dad hates me to this day for it because I showed him up. It was his mate. He got me this job. He didn't want to because he knew I was a lowlife. Obviously, I was terrible and showed him up. But these welders were like fingers missing, teeth missing, real Stockton working class men.
Yeah.
You know, probably riddled with cancer and all sorts, you know what I mean? They just supped pints, smoked rollies. But that bait room, I wish I could remember some of the things, but I remember to this day laughing so hard that the laugh would go on after bait and I would still be creasing all night. Some of the darkest, straight-faced, driest, funniest people I've ever met. And you think in a different realm, in a different universe, that man could have been stood on stage and he'd have everybody in bits. But instead, he's knocking up, he's MIG welding a hopper in some yard in Stockton, you know?
Yeah.
Billy Connolly talks about it, one of my personal favourites, that obviously he was a welder in the shipyards.
The best storyteller.
Billy.
Yeah.
Some boy. But he'd tell the stories of, similar to that, I mean, relating to this, and he'd say, you know, some of the funniest people he met were in that shipyard. Brutal to each other, brutally funny, but beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, almost artistically, just exquisite comedy. But the welders...
Take it like... as it is. You know what I mean? I know people like that.
What's the mecca of comedy? I mentioned a Netflix special. For you, what would, not being modest, no, reach for the stars you're on, right? All holds barred. Let's play an imaginary game, right? I'll play mine first. I'm going to be bigger than Joe Rogan, right? That's my game. Watch out, Joe. What is the mecca for comedy for you? What is the highest point you could reach? Dream.
I would say you want to be at the highest thing, because not many people do it, would be to break America.
That's what I was going to ask you.
That would be because not many British comics do it.
Who's British?
Gervais.
And what's the fella? The fella who wore the high heels, he did all right as well. Come on. Eddie.
Eddie Izzard.
He did all right, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he get on over there? I think he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very, very clever.
Smart guy, isn't he?
The whole tour in Germany and that.
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
How does that relate?
Yeah. I know, yeah. Imagine. Well, funny enough, that Segura guy, who I told you, Tom Segura, he has his mum's, he was brought up in America, American life, but his mum's full Peruvian. Some of his jokes are about his mum. Excellent how he takes a piss out of his mum and the broken Spanish English. But he spent a lot of time in Peru and therefore became fluent in Spanish.
Yeah.
So he has another angle. He can do the American, and he's bossed America. He's got the Netflix deal. He's got one of the biggest podcasts going. But unlike everybody else, he can just pop down to South America and wrap that up as well because it is fluent. Not like an American who can speak Spanish, he's got that as well. Do you know what I mean? That's a good trick to have, isn't it?
I think if I couldn't do that with it, I'd like to have something that I've written being said in everyday life.
All right.
You know, like Mickey Flannery, out.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone says, "Oh, where you going out?" "Oh, I'm not out.
And garlic bread.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd like, so say I was walking down the street, I think, "Oh yeah, I wrote that in my bedroom." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought of that in my kitchen.
Imagine that, yeah.
I quite like that.
Imagine walking into a bar one day and just hearing someone across the room going, "Hey, garlic bread." And you're like, "Fucking hell, yeah, it's me."
All right, mate. How are you?
Yeah. That's what I meant to ask you about. I was going to ask you about the American to English thing, because from a divvy's perspective, Americans easily conquer England. It seems as though the American comics, they don't have to try. Anything Americans like, we like, but not very much that we like the American. Like,
The other way, yeah.
Yeah. So to chew, having an English accent, an American accent, so on. Is that the case? Is it harder for...
I think we're more accepting over here.
Yeah.
There's like bands as well.
Yeah.
Like and I think Gervais over there on the back of the Office and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was famous already, and then he started that. And then he got the roast on the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
And that gave him his persona over there, where he was, you know. So he's got that in his stand up on the, you know, the Netflix stuff and what have you.
There's a guy that, as we've just said earlier, about pushing boundaries. He can say what he wants. Did you hear him on that last thing about the Epstein stuff and all
He
that?
couldn't care less now.
No.
He's at such a level.
He
can't care less.
botches them. You see the audience going, "Oh my God." These are A-list. He's not doing it to an audience. He's got A-list celebrities like Tom Hanks and people sat there, and he is literally just going, "You're a paedophile." And they're all, literally, and they're just like, "Oh my God." Like, that, and he's accepted and it's allowed. But yeah, the American England thing, it is not many English guys make it over there.
But then there's a lot of, well, very similar to the Australians.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Brits make it big in Australia, don't they?
Yeah,
like the
they do.
comics and stuff.
Yeah. I wonder why that is. I mean, one of my favourite comedians is Australian. You heard of Jim Jeffries?
Yeah.
Some boy.
Yeah.
Them specials. That was the first time I heard the word can't. Do you know? There's a word that's sort of stuck. Can't. When I say can't, you know who that was. Do you know what I mean? I like his humour. Not one to watch with your lass. The girls don't really get Jim. He's more of a male-focused comedian, isn't he? Or lesbian, possibly. But yeah, England and Australia. Well, Australia's blown up at the moment. A lot of the American people I listen to, and they didn't used to, a lot of them are going to Australia and doing tours there. It must be booming, is it, Australia?
I think so.
Comedy.
I think so. They all get over there if they're big enough.
Have you never thought about just thinking, hang on, take 3 weeks off, save some money up, book in advance. You've got some content now. Just start sending emails and that across to these places, comedy clubs in Sydney and in Melbourne and stuff like that. I bet you get some bookings and just go over. You never know. You could take off in Australia.
It takes. I don't know if you saw on TikTok the goal celebration lad.
I saw him.
Did you see
Yeah,
him?
he was fantastic.
So he does this thing. He's like, he does it in slow motion. Where's a goal celebration? Mm-hmm. And I couldn't. He was on the bill, and he cancelled, and I would have been on the same one as him. But he cancelled because his thing blew up, went viral,
right?
And now he gets better bookings and stuff like that.
Never. So he's a comedian, though.
Yeah,
right.
So he's like probably a level above me,
right.
But we would have been on the same bill,
right?
But so you never know. I might say something, and the public might just run with it.
Yeah.
So you never ever know.
Viral's a thing, innit?
Yeah.
That's literally, and that's the beauty of this day and age now. I bet I won't use the word easier. I'd say you got more of a chance. Maybe that's the right word. I don't know. Go back to before the internet. Like, I guess it was all industry ran, and it might be, you've got to have
That's
the
him. That's him, mate, yeah.
So yeah, this is it.
What's he do?
In slow motion, do you want to see that?
Oh, he's good. Yes. It's absolutely brilliant, that. He's a beast.
Yeah, it's
That was
brilliant.
class.
So that blew up for him, and he got, was that 21 million viewers?
That's 240,000 on just what? Oh yeah, 21 million's there.
Yeah.
This comedy club here, this Hot Water comedy,
Yeah.
it's making some, I don't know if it's my algorithm or what, but I get peppered by these Hot Water people. They have a podcast on, the Green Room podcast. They're two big lads. Hilarious. Yeah.
There's places you need to get on. And
Is
that's
that one of the
definitely
biggest
them.
places in the UK then? The Hot Water. Excuse me.
Well, you want to get on, sort of, well, any way you can, really. But if you, the thing is, if you have that behind you in a photo,
Brandon, innit?
people are like, oh, okay, he's done that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
even if you were shit, I could have just got up there and said, "Here, take a picture."
Yeah, yeah.
And then-
Getting like that on the
yeah,
mic.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it would make a difference, I think.
Where else is there apart from that? Because the only one I can think of is the Hot Water. Where else would get you that recognition of fucking hell, he's done there? Fringe, saying you've been at Edinburgh Fringe.
I beat the Fringe
Have you? You
But
perform?
one night.
You did a set though?
Yeah,
Never?
yeah,
Huh. That's a good stripe, isn't it?
yeah. A lad I do a lot of stuff with. He went up there for a week.
What's his name?
Jordan Losman.
Oh, yeah. I've
Yeah,
heard
do
of
you know him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, know him. I heard of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was up there for a week, and he was putting on his Facebook, anyone fancy? I've got like a 20-minute slot, whatever, tonight or whenever. Just Facebook me. So that's him.
So you went up there?
So he's done at Waterloo.
Yeah, that's a good picture, isn't it? The when you see that there, you're like, oh, he's serious. Yeah, he's a serious guy.
Yeah. So he was wanting people that were there, acts that were there, because he had like spare minutes to fill in.
Right.
So I just Facebooked him. I said, oh, yeah, I'll come up if you want.
Yeah.
No, I said, I'll do it. He went, are you here in Edinburgh? I says, no, I'm in Darlow.
I can be.
And yeah, that's what I said, I can be if you want. So I got this hotel, right? I left it the next day. I was on the train home. I had this big bite on my arm off the bed.
Off
it was
the
that
bed?
bad. Yeah. Oh,
What, the
I
bed
thought-
bit you?
Yeah. It might as well have. I got there. It was August.
You hadn't been to the strip club, had you?
I wish. It was August, right? I had this thing on us there, right?
Right.
Like Alien. It was August, but it was still a bit nippy, right? I got under the cover. The duvet was like a bit of a wafer thin ham. I was like, oh, what on earth is this? I had to put my jumper on.
No way.
Anyhow, so I went up, and he had like an hour show, but he wanted someone in the middle.
Right, yeah.
So I went up, and there was me and another lass on, and I did 25 minutes.
25 minutes? Did you?
Yeah.
So you're not 5-10 minutes, full 25?
But you have to flyer it outside.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Never.
Oh, it's hard. So he had a pub in the middle of Edinburgh,
Right.
and it was over the road.
Which pub was it?
Can't remember.
Okay. It's a
Anyhow,
pub.
It was a good place.
Big.
And yeah, it was like a separate room we went in.
Function room type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So I'm flyering. Come over there, we're doing it, 9 o'clock. Yay, all this. Being cheered, I Del Boy, come on, Albert, come on.
Yeah.
He says, oh, we can't tonight. He says, when do you start? I says, 9 o'clock. He says, oh, we can't, we're over in that theatre there at 9:30. I says, who's on there? And it was, I think it was Frankie Boyle.
No way.
And I just went, I said, I'll have me flyers back. I said, I can't compete with him, can I?
No.
So there was a room of about 60, and we got about 25 in, 23, 25.
You dragged him in off the street, so
They come in the end, yeah.
Yeah. Were you charging for these?
No, free. It's all
Never.
free.
Just get yourself in.
Yeah. But a woman, a South African woman, had brought in her kid, and she was only about 11. And I'm doing sex noises and pretending to rut me bed
Well, it's her fault.
and all that. And
Bringing the kid in.
I said to her at the beginning, I just went, oh, I'm so sorry. I told her at the end, and she went, don't worry about it. She said, she's 11. She knows these things. I thought,
Right.
well, I don't know, it works in South Africa, but...
Yeah. I mean, who takes a kid in the pub?
I know, yeah. And it was late at night, but, you know, they were on their holidays, weren't they?
Yeah. Never. I didn't know you'd been up there, like,
Yeah.
That's-
I didn't even spend 24 hours in the place. But
in and out. But I guess that's like, I mean, I'm sure there's, again, I'm a divvy. I'm sure there's many steps along the way. But for me, like, there's the, you know, standing in the wheat sheaf. And then the next level up, I guess, is these type of things. Get yourself in, you know, try and get on the hot water thing, try and get in thingy, and then obviously the one after that is, you know, Albert Halls and shit like that, innit? I guess.
yeah, you need to get like, so there's a level there, there's a level I'm probably here, then there's levels above me,
Yeah.
and then there's like, I know promoters round here who will have like, Russell Kane's been on for one of them.
Who?
Russell Kane.
Oh, Russell Kane. Yeah.
That bloke who was on Phoenix Nights, Clinton Baptiste.
Yeah.
Lost Voice guy.
Lost Voice guy.
Some of the people I do a lot of stuff. We've been on with Lost Voice guy a couple of times.
So, what's your next target? Obviously, you want a Netflix special, but what's the next step up? Where'd you go? Like, what's the next thing I want to get? Oh, you know, I want to get this. What's the next thing?
I want to just keep plodding away at it and get better at it. You know what I mean? And get a lot of, I want to get like that Duke Joke box thing. I've said it wrong again. Joke box
Thing.
where I can,
Yeah.
and I want to get to a place where I've seen people that are at now who I've gigged with that they know I'm reliable.
Right.
They know that I'm sort of a safe pair of hands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I quite like that. That's the next thing.
Right. Yeah.
Because you see on the stuff online, no newbies. And I've discussed it with like some of the women I work with there on the comedy, like, when are you not a newbie?
Yeah. When does that happen?
When does that change?
Who decides that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I guess, like you say, it's an evolution, isn't it? Like, again, I'm just a divvy looking at it. I keep repeating that, but the more you keep doing these sets and you're mingling with this, you know, I've been on a show with them before.
It's
It'll
all it
just-
is networking.
Networking.
It's like you can't underestimate that.
I mean, that's, you know, I think that goes across the board, doesn't it? Networking's very important, like, especially in comedy. So who are some, let's say, characters, some performers, some comedians that the public might not have heard of yet, but you know are good, that you not knock about with, but see around on the local scenes and places you go? Is there some people that you think could make it?
Yeah. He's going to be on the telly a lot. I've been on the bill with him a couple of times. We have our little night in Darlow, Wonky Carrot Comedy.
Yeah, I've seen that at Dr.
And
Inks.
he's done it for us.
Right,
And Al Stevenson, he's called.
right,
But he's all set up. He's a Geordie.
right.
He's all set up to be. The next thing he's going to do is, his stick is he's gay,
Right.
and he's more like crowd work rather than jokes. But you can see that he's going to be like someone to watch.
Yeah. I mean, that guy you've said, he's, I think, being a Geordie, very recognisable, and having the gay thing as well. I mean, I've never seen a gay Geordie comedian, so he's already got some uniqueness. I think there's a lane for you. I do think there's a lane for you. Vic Reeves is not doing it no more.
No.
And I don't know anyone big time from the Northeast, really big time as comedians. But we are a funny bunch. The Northeast humour, in which you do have innately, you do have some Vic Reeves-esqueness about you, and I think there's a lane for it. Do you know what I
Very
mean?
much, mate.
I'm being honest. You know, I listen to a lot of comedy. You know, I'll be honest with you. Watching your videos, and I'm going to say this: like Russell Howard's never made me smile. I'm going to say that. I know some comedians that have comedians that have specials, and I'm sure they're very talented. I'm sure a lot of people find them funny, or they've just got really believable laugh tracks. One of the two. But I've watched comedians, and they don't make me laugh as much as you do. It could be because I'm Darlow and I'm relating to you. I don't know. But whatever it is, you're making me laugh. And
That's all you can ask for, really. That's all you want.
I'm going to say, when my dad put me in contact with you, he did say people who've seen Norm say he's good like. Yeah. So just so you know, people are saying that, you know what you're doing, that you're a funny guy.
I don't know. I shouldn't have it. Have imposter syndrome a little bit.
Everybody does, Norm. Yeah. Everybody does. It's true, man. Everyone does it. That's just natural, isn't it?
But it's, yeah.
You think, I can't be doing this.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Should I do that?
You fucking should, mate. You should. No, you should. So, I'm going to ask you a thing. You know, we're going to round this up soon. I mean, listen, I could go on forever. I've got loads of stuff we haven't touched on, but we're not blessed with time, and I want me tea. Yeah. So, I'm going to ask you about this Full Monty thing.
All right,
Tell us about the Full Monty. What's going down?
Right, so, him who's just on, Losman, he does this, he does a lot for, like, men's mental health. He ends his gigs by he always gets a round of applause. He sort of mentions himself. He had, like, in Afghanistan.
Let's have that video, Southpaw. Let's have a little look, because we did...
Oh, is this us rehearsing?
No, we found something about your mate, Jord.
Yeah.
This, which kind of... I wasn't ready for this, and it did...
this moment in time.
Touch the nerve.
So 3 years ago to the day, I was in hospital.
Yeah,
I was,
she's right, yeah.
The 23rd, the 24th, the 25th and the 26th of December, I spent in a hospital after having probably the biggest breakdown that I've ever had. Well, it is the biggest breakdown I've ever had in my life. And I just wanted to show that you can go through that and go through the toughest point in your life and still be here to tell the story about it. And it's a famous saying that people say a lot, that a breakdown is usually followed by a breakthrough. And it's true. And I'm living proof that you can keep going and you can get better and you can live a somewhat of a normal life. I'm not saying that I don't still wake up in the middle of the night having panic attacks or stressing or worrying about everything day to day anyway, life, cost of living, like we all are. But I'm not at the point anymore where I feel the only option is to have to take my own life. And if you are in that position now where you're feeling like that, there is always a way out, I promise you, and it's not the way that you think by killing yourself. Whether you haven't got a lot of money, whether you have got a lot of money, if you feel like you haven't got as many presents under the tree as somebody else that you know, none of that matters, because whether you can provide one present, no presents, or 1,000 presents for your family or for your loved ones, there's no bigger gift than you being there on Christmas Day or being there for the rest of the year, or the rest of your family's time with you, because there will be nothing harder than seeing an empty seat at a Christmas table on that day, which should have been filled by you, because you felt like the only way to go was to end your life, because it's not. And I know how some people feel, because I've been there myself and I felt like that. And it's only when you come through at the other side that you see how irrational that thinking was at the time. I think the highlight of this should be the fact that being in the northeast where we are now is the highest suicide rate in the UK. 74% of the UK suicides is men, and a lot of men feel that there's that stigma that's talked about quite a lot now, which is good, but a lot of people feel like they can't speak up. I felt like that at first. I felt like it was a sign of weakness, and the picture that I'm putting up now, that was me 3 years ago to the day, and the picture that's coming up right now is the same day 3 years ago, and you can see the difference there. It doesn't even look like the same person. So that first picture that you seen when I was all happy and smiley, if you'd have walked past me on the street, you'd have gone, he's got a good life. And I did have a good life. I had a great job, I had money, I had my family, I had my son, which is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And it still wasn't enough, something was missing. And I didn't know what it was, and I didn't feel like I could keep going. And then if you look at the picture where I was upset, my mum actually screenshotted that when I was on the phone to her, because I was begging her to find me some help. And she took the picture off the phone there to show the doctors how much struggling was going on and how hard I was finding it to just go up day to day. And if you'd have seen that person, you'd have been like, yeah, there's something wrong with him. But that's not the face what everyone sees. Look at Robin Williams, for example. He was somebody that made people laugh all of his life. It was his career. And he felt that he had to take his own life. So if somebody that's in that position, that's got all the riches, all the wealth, and all the love of the family and friends and fans, imagine how much harder it is for average Joe Blogs. But I can guarantee you that things do get better. And if you don't listen or share any more of my videos in your life, then please just share this one so that somebody knows that there is a way that you can keep getting by. I know my voice is breaking out.
Yeah, we'll leave a link to that in the description if anybody
And he's dead
wants
right,
to.
isn't he?
Yeah.
He's
All right,
dead
Joe,
right.
I'll keep it light, son.
Yeah. No, it's nice. I listened to it the other day and
yeah.
it did get us.
Yeah.
But just you mentioned that, so I thought I'd play it.
Yeah,
so
he ends his gigs with that. So
It's good.
he's into all that. So this full Monty is on the back of that.
Right.
So it's for men's mental health.
And you're going to do it?
Yeah. Now all of a sudden, Saturday afternoons, I'm not watching the scores coming in. I'm having a pint.
No.
I'm in a dance studio. Take my gear off.
And what date's this on?
The February the 10th.
How can people get tickets?
It's sold out.
Sold out?
Yeah.
Oof.
Ladies only.
Ladies only.
Yeah.
Well, I hope, it's obviously going to go well. It's sold out. Good luck. How you been doing your sit-ups, Nom?
No.
No. So before we go, how can people come and see Norm perform?
Well, it'll be on me socials.
On your socials? What are your
Yeah.
socials?
My name, Andrew Hercules Einstein Ormerod.
That's on Facebook and Insta?
Facebook. Insta is Darlow's Big Norm.
Darlow's Big Norm. That's how they find you, those two.
Wonky Carrot Comedy every last Sunday
Yeah.
of the month, or every other month at the minute.
Yeah.
Dr. Inks. Me and 3 other women, we take turns doing it, but we're always on there.
Well, after we finish, Southpaw will get all the links and stuff to socials, post a little bit at the bottom of the video about what's upcoming and how they can find you. But yeah, mate, listen, you're a legend, Nom. You're a legend. You are one funny MF. That's what I'm saying. Massive respect. Really appreciate you coming. It's been an honour to meet you.
No, lovely, mate. Yeah, lovely.
This has been People Like Us. Episode what, Southpaw?
31.
Episode 31. I've been Dan, that's been Southpaw, and this has been Norm. And that's it.